I really think that we have to find a common response to the decision of the Trump's administration. We have a problem with the steel overcapacity, and we fully recognize that we have to address the issue. The question is, where should we address the issue of steel overcapacity? And my strong belief is that we have to deal with that kind of issue in the multilateral framework, either the WTO or the G20. But protectionism is really not the right answer, and we have to make that very clear to the Trump administration. That's why I'm advocating for a very strong and a very united answer from the Commission and from the EU member states.
What is that strong and united answer, though? Is it to say, no, we won't accept these tariffs, or is it to agree to negotiate, as Wilbur Ross wants to, lower other trade barriers in return, a quid pro quo?
I think that a quid pro quo is not, to me, the right answer. What is the right answer? First of all, American people have to understand that it is very difficult for us to accept as close allies to the United States that some of the decisions of the Trump administration might lead to the close down of some very important industrial plants in Europe and especially in France, and that kind of decisions will directly jeopardize the industry and some of our important private companies in France and in Europe. That's something that we cannot understand as close allies to the United States. And then as far as the answers are concerned, I think that we have to put everything on the table, either countermeasures on some specific products coming from the United States to do exactly the same as what the United States are doing now against European products, and safeguard measures to protect our industry. Donald Trump wants to protect its industry. That's something that we can fully understand. But once again, protectionism is not the right way of protecting your industry. And then everybody has to understand that we have also to protect our own industry, either by countermeasures or by safeguard measures.
And this attempt by the administration to link the steel and aluminium tariffs with other issues. For instance, Donald Trump says the US is ready to drop tariffs if the EU lowered its horrific, his words, horrific rates on US products. Do you accept that description?
But I cannot accept that, because that's not the truth. It is not the truth. We are an open economy, and when you are looking at the European situation, international trade products represent more than 33% of the overall GDP of European nations. When you are comparing that to the United States, in the United States it is among, I would say, 26%. So I cannot accept that idea that the European economy would be not open to international trade. That's not the truth. And I want to make it very clear to the American people, we, European nations, we are open nations, open to international trade, but we just want our partners to abide by the same rules. That's the key point for us, reciprocity. And in that framework, I would like to insist on the fact that we are ready to discuss about the question of steel overcapacity, because I once again fully recognize that this is a key issue, but the way of addressing it by, I would say, a one-way approach, a protectionist approach, is not the right way of dealing with that key issue.
Minister, I understand you don't want a fight, but are you ready for a fight if it becomes necessary?
I don't want to fight with one of the closest allies of France and of Europe. But if it is a necessity to protect our interests, if it proves to be necessary to take strong measures to protect our interests, to protect our jobs, to protect our industry, Do not have any doubt about that. We will take the necessary strong measures to protect our own interests.